Hi everyone, today I'm doing a reading on a missing child who is missing from Bridgeton City in New Jersey. She was last seen at Bridgeton City Park in New Jersey. It was the 16th of September. Why did I want to say 17th of September? 16th of September 2019. She was 5 years old and she's still missing today. So this is actually nearly a 5-year-old case, isn't it? I've seen, that's what I know. I've also seen the surveillance camera in the shop they stopped at to get ice cream before they went to the park. This was the mum. Dulce, the name is dulcemariaalavez is the girl. So it was the mum. I think the mum's name is not Naomi, but something like that. The little brother, I think his name is Emmanuel, and there was another girl there, but they don't seem to make reference to her. She's probably around, I don't know, 8 or 9 or 10. And it just seems to be referenced that it was the mother was in the car with her sister, and she was just scratching off the lotto. I want to keep saying Maria, but Dulce left with Emmanuel. They wanted to just get to the park, so the mum was parked there. It says with her sister, who must be younger than her, so I don't know if, I'm not sure if she has 3 kids, that other 8-9-year-old is her kid, or is that the actual sister, her sister, so very, very young. And I don't think she saw anything, so maybe she was at the car. You know, I don't really look into it very heavy, but they seem to say the mum was in the car scratching the lotto. She just put her head down for a moment, and that was the moment that she obviously didn't see the kids. And then the next thing she saw was that Emmanuel was crying, and I think there's something around dropping his ice cream. So when she went to him, she couldn't see where, again, I want to say Maria Dulce is, and like, I think the mom is going through enough pain, and she probably knows that and regrets that she probably let them go down without her being there. I've looked at the park and how far the parking is from like the swings and the slide. It's quite far, but it is a very open park. So I think there's schools around it, and I think it's not wooded, so you can see through, but the car park is quite far. And I wonder if they've got like little, you know, sometimes in parks there's those little cabin sheds where it could be a toilet, or it used to be an old cafe or something. I don't know why I get that. That's what I know. As soon as I heard of this, as soon as I heard the name, I was like, I don't know if I should name things, but I do get a significant male, very strong, and as much as people might be saying it's someone else or whatever, I haven't heard much on the case. I get someone very significant, okay, and it's a male. I also get, and I'm really sorry to say, that the mother has an inkling who this is. But I feel that she's not able to speak because she's frightened, or there's something there, right? This could be that, let's just say that there's been a retaliation. She has an inkling who it is, but this person is maybe gang affiliated, or has in the past, you know, has threatened to take Dulce, or because she knows them, she knows what they're involved in, and she knows of what they're quite capable of, even if they haven't directly threatened that should you ever speak or whatever, that they might take her other kids or do something, and seeing as they've taken one kid, she'd probably be very frightened on her other kid or anyone else. Now, I don't know if she has a wider family around her, but let's get into this. So I think the mother has an inkling who it is, and the thing is, the police can't give her security because that's impossible. So it's a very difficult situation. And I don't know if she would say and then flee for a bit of time and then come back. But it would crack the case, basically. All right. I'm not saying if she knows if her daughter's alive or unalive, but she knows who is behind this. She knows the person and she can crack the case. But I feel like she's in some sort of sticky situation. Let me just check the camera. Okay, so we're going to get into the cards now. Let's see what gets said. So firstly, I'm going to see, Dulce's energy is like this fun-loving, bouncy, very caring, innocent type girl. I feel she's like one of those girls, do you know when, for example, if your mum's had a bad day, or maybe someone's upset her, she's just been on the phone, she's kind of smart, she'll go up to her mum and say, "What's up, mum?" and she'll give her mum a hug. I feel she's like one of those type of girls. I think the brother might have been too young to remember anything, and obviously I don't think there was any witnesses in the park. The other thing that I wanted to mention, this was planned, okay, and I feel like there was a watching going on. It was very much planned, and I think on that day there was several things that actually I think if the mother's looking back, she's like, why did I go to the park? I was saying something, let's do this instead. Or there was a couple of indicators where there was choices that could have been made, and this always happens to us, but like she might be looking back, apart from getting down from the car, where she'd be like, there was something that was telling me like it was that I couldn't be bothered to go, or they needed to rest, or the weather wasn't great, or was some kind of weather. So I do feel that. What we're going to do first is I'm going to actually pull a couple of cards from this. Now, these two decks that I created have a very large number of certain words that won't fit all cases, because it's like until I get one of the crime decks that are already crime. If you notice my readings, they're actually harder to read because a lot of the readers use crime decks that tell them everything as opposed to tarot. I'm just channeling through the tarot. So I'm gonna look into this, and I'm gonna see if we get some key stuff before I say anything else and before I get into the tarot. Obviously, anything that I feel is irrelevant, because like I said, it covers, like, I feel like they cover a lot of cases, and that's the purpose. I'm gonna probably tell you I don't feel that this is significant, or this is an energy in some way distant. Okay, so we'll start off with this deck. This one is a bit more you know, it's got a bit more kind of energy to it, and the reason is I'll let you know in a moment why I want to also pull from it. So let's just, Spirit, can I have some cards to tell us about the case of Dulce Maria? And that's a very wide question, right? So we have to be careful. The word torture has come out, feminine in reverse. I mean, these are very difficult to read in reverse, but it's clearly come out in reverse. Something at night. Dulce Maria. No. Because no night. Fairground. It's interesting. I only did this today because while I was sat, I was thinking fairground. I've got park in these decks, but there's something about a fairground. So I wonder if that park was a fairground, or in the summer it becomes a fairground or something like that. There's like open land where it becomes a bit more of a fairground. Feminine in reverse, I feel like there's a male here, you know, and this male I feel is very sadistic, or, you know, there's it's not at night, which we know, but I was going to say, if that night is valid, it might be that they're getting she's been stalked, and you know, they know where the home is. I believe this person knows where their home is, okay, and has watched their movements. Health issues, there's history with this person, and deep. So something is quite deep, and there's health issues here. So maybe this is with Maria or Dulce. There could be health issues with the person. Random and kidnapping, which we know, and a shed. So is this shed where, you know, maybe she was, I'm getting that there is a building or there is a shed she was hollered to behind, and I feel that that's where the kidnapping happened. It's interesting, I put it under the torture card, and it seems like it was random, but I'm getting brought back to no, it wasn't random, and that's because I firmly believe in what I channel. Any more, Spirit? So water or boats could be significant, okay? Let's get a few from this one and see what we get. This one can be a bit iffy. So she was trapped in some sort of way. Selfish person, a greedy person, poison could be involved, right? We're going to get to her energy. But I won't be surprised if people that I've read on this, or psychics, I feel like she was alive for quite some time, and I'm going to check in on her energy now. So I wouldn't be surprised if you're aware of this case. Let me know in the comments if people are saying she's alive, or they were say she was alive. I'm also getting that this case didn't get the immediate amber alert that was needed, which is interesting. A cover-up. Okay, so the reason, and what I'm connected, this came out, but I hadn't seen it, because it gave them time to get moving, to cover up, and that card fell out. So anything else, Spirit? So the truth will come out on conspiracy. I believe that that's it, was planned. And there's something conspiracy here, which I believe is what the mother knows. It's not just a, yeah, so it's basically, it was done quite fast. You know, she was taken quite fast. And okay, so I wouldn't be surprised if the person was kind of also dressed as a in a uniform to make himself something else, okay? But conspiracy is to do with the conspiracy of, it was just like an old school kidnapping where a van comes along and grabs a kid, okay? That's not the case. Split the deck, and we get strangers involved, and we get harassment, and one more, politics could be involved. Politics is where I think there could be, I'm getting a couple of things here. I'm getting a couple of things around other dynamics of, Spirit wants me to shuffle more. Other dynamics of like country borders, etc. Although I'm not convinced that she was taken across country border, but there's an energy there of something significant in terms of country border. So we know that there's some earth here with the fairground, and there's some water as well. I don't know where that energy that place is, if there's water nearby in that state, if they have water. Hit and run in reverse, so it was done fast, but it wasn't the old school kidnapping. It wasn't the old school, and like I said, reverse doesn't really come out in this one, but it wasn't like the old school kidnapping of what I'm saying. Can you see how Spirit is confirming with my cards what I'm saying, as opposed to just bringing out? Okay, so any more, Spirit? Power abuse, which we would know. Too many. Obviously, if it's a male or it's somebody older than the kid. I just saw neighborhood and community, because I do think that that person was around there. And we get cover up again. All right. So what we're going to do now is we are going to go into the tarot, and I'm just going to check on her energy on the 16th of September. I can't imagine the mother's pain, especially if what I said. So let's go into, I'm getting told to go to this deck. 16th of September 2019, show me her energy. Let's make sure that the majority are upright, if not all. Charities in reverse. And then if they want to fall in reverse, they can do. Okay, so please show me Dulce, Maria. Feel like this is the mother missing the sign. Okay. I also, when I was thinking about it, I felt like there was something left behind by the perpetrator. So whether it's a cigarette butt or a chewing gum or something was left behind, but obviously maybe they can't test everything in the park, but something was left behind. Before I started the reading, I was getting this, and this reminds me of it, but this is the mum also missing the sign. There's a secret, okay? And again, missing the sign, but there is a secret here. There's a keeper of a secret that holds the key. What was I saying? I'm also getting told that her moon sign could be Pisces. Lovers. This is where obviously Dulce has been taken away. The reason I left here is because I was getting a significant energy. When I started, before I started the reading, I mentioned that I checked. It wasn't done at home. Okay. There's things that are not being uncovered yet. There's things of secrets. And I'm being brought back to that night card. And it's connecting me to the moon as well. I really feel like this person was also stalking at night. But also there's still like secrets to come out of this. And look where I've put it with the mother's energy. Okay. And then we've got the Knight of Pentacles who comes in, and we have the Four of Pentacles. Is this the Four of Pentacles? Yeah. There could be money involved here. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Not a great energy here. This is, usually this would be like really close looking at stuff, helicopter parenting. But let's continue and then I'm going to elaborate further. It's hard to connect to the energy of this case, by the way. I don't know why. And I don't know if it's because I feel a lot of, like, I don't like the feeling of the case. You know, as soon as I heard the name, her name, I said the father's involved. I don't know if the father, and then they said, and then on the, it said the father, because I was thinking, where is the father then? He was deported to somewhere, I can't remember if they said. But I don't know if this was a certain period of time and then he's back now. I don't know if they're together or they're split. And I don't necessarily feel that he was the one that took her, but he's behind this. And again, it's there's not enough information. It should be very clear. This is the father. This is what the father says. And I don't know if I'm missing, because I don't look into it so much, but I feel there's a lack of transparency, visibility there. And also, where is the father right now? Is he still deported outside the country, inside the country? Is he back? I don't know. But this screams to me several things here. And I really feel like the mother knows, and there's been some financial stress on them and certain, you know, sort of self-absorbed energy is here, all right? And this could be from the person. So let's continue because we're looking at the 16th of September. The Hanged Man in reverse. So there was movement in terms, there was movement going on. It wasn't a stuck situation. It wasn't a situation where there wasn't any movement. Yeah, sort of like very, once it was the time to move forward, it was done quite fast, all right? Yep, waiting for their arrival, waiting for that right moment to come in and do whatever they did, which was kidnap her, take her. Again, they've left something behind, but obviously you can't test all the DNA on the ground, but there was something left by the perpetrator. I'm getting a significance to possibly wearing something like a polka dot, or like, and it could be Dulce, it could be the perpetrator, black and yellow, black and light green. King of Pentacles. Four of Wands. Judgment in reverse. So we can see, we can clearly see where she was taken away. And, you know, sort of the mother not watching the children. The judgment in reverse is not having that great judgment on somebody. And I think this is to do with this King of Pentacles who's come in. There is also something around money here, that they might be having financial stress. It could just be that it doesn't mean that they've sold or anything like that. We're going to dig into that in a moment. But it could just be that there's been a, you know, they just make ends meet, which a lot of people do right now. But it doesn't mean that they're in crime. Remember, disclaimer, this is for entertainment purposes only. But here we've got someone quite stubborn and set in their ways as well, and a kind of a lack mentality. I wonder who lived in the home as well, because I feel like there was a bit of imbalancement in the home, and that doesn't mean that there was anything like abuse happening, anything like that. I don't mean that at all. I do think the mother is currently in pain, and you know, if you are in such a situation, but here it's kind of like, just pull a card here. I asked for one card, 1 second. It's twice coming out, okay? Oh, I didn't see this one. There was definitely an argument, okay? This person holds a bit of power, all right, that's involved. And I think they have been in the house, or they've been near the home, with a lack of judgment on who this person is truly. And it could be that they were wearing this kind of uniform. Like I said, I do think that the I'd love to know about the relationship history of the mother and the father and the current status. As you can see here, Dulce is alive on this date, okay? Let's just go ahead. You know, my throat is really tied up, bugged down. I'm just going to check the camera, okay. Let's look at the energy on the, now, so. Okay, so I'm going a bit dizzy and I just want to ground myself. 1 second. If you're watching this read, please, and you're a subscriber, please let me know. I think most people are on here for the crime and the stories, but what content you enjoyed. You also look at your tarot, because I know I've got some old-time subscribers for the tarot, and I don't want to neglect those readings for the tarot. So please let me know, especially if you're a day oneer. Okay, let's see her energy right now. Dulcemariaalavez. She would be 10 right now, imagine. I am getting something around the digestive, the gut, the sun. The 8 of Wands in reverse. Two of Cups in reverse. The lack of movement on the case, the lack of harmony in this case, the lack of a successful outcome in this case. There's the Ten of Swords. We need to just be careful with that card now. The lack of something not going in the way that it might have needed to go because of the exposure that came on the case at a certain point in time. Initially, the time period that the police took some sort of action, I think they responded quite quickly, but I wonder if the Amber Alert was a bit too prolonged in terms of getting her picture out there, and that gave the advantage, but at the same time, but at the same time, then there was a lack of movement and harmony in the case to be moved forward, which we know it's at stagnation a little bit. Is it a cold case now? So I think there's someone who approached her in a very sort of caring manner. I don't think when, hang on a sec. There are signs that have been missed in this case, and it could be like signs that a certain person knows something. There's a hidden sign that has been missed here. And the turn of events of me seeing this person approaching had this outcome, okay? The World. Five of Swords. Temperance. Two more cards. One more card. Queen of Cups. This is the mother, you know, grieving the loss, not being able to get over the past, which is explainable, needing the inner strength, and the Hierophant, the police that need to take a bit more action, okay. Split the deck, we've got the Seven of Cups. There's overwhelming confusion in this case. These cards don't look like she could be. We've got several cards here that could indicate she's not alive. And when I pulled this and this came out, it was like Spirit saying, your answer is here, okay? And so I don't think she is, there's a high potential that she's not alive right now. Let's just do something. Knight of Pentacles, Ten of Wands, this is the person approaching her. Okay, let me just ask a question. The mother knows and has an inkling on who's responsible. If she doesn't have full knowledge, she has an inkling and she can crack the case. But like I said, I think she's a bit in, I think she's in a very sticky situation, very difficult situation. I really do think so. Okay, so I do think it involves the father somehow, okay? The father 100% is involved. I was getting it right from the beginning, and loads of people, I don't know, I feel like a lot of people are thinking it's someone else. I am just continuously getting the father. Like, there's something not known about this case. It could be that she's been taken to the father and it's resulted in this. We've got this card here, but I never asked for certain cards to actually read their meaning. I asked for certain cards to confirm, you know, an energy. I was getting it as soon as I heard her name, and then I started looking up little thumbnails to understand and get what I was like last seen on this date and that date. And then these camera surveillance of her in the gas station or that shop. So I'd love to know, where is the dad right now? Like, is he back in state? Is he abroad? Okay, so right now I'm getting mixed energies on whether she's alive or passed. Okay. The answer to my question via spirit is just not getting answered. And I feel like, I said it from the beginning, I don't like it when my readings don't flow. Sagittarius could be significant. Someone with a Sagittarius placement could be significant in this case as well, along with the father. Right, let me just put the fan on because I'm getting really hot. 1 second. there's no transparency. One second. There's so much around I wonder if her dad, like in the beginning I was saying it is affiliated with a ring or a society or a gang, okay? Again here, this is showing conflicting energy on whether she is alive. Look at this, dark energy. This to me confirms there is a bit of a ring or a gang, like I was saying in the beginning. But it doesn't mean that they've done it. It could just mean that they are, someone who is done this is affiliated with it. And it's someone they know. It's someone that the family know. And I say it and I'll keep saying it. And like I said, I think this person is involved. I don't know where this person is. Page of Pentacles. Tower. Why won't he take the small boy as well? That sort of... I feel the boy struggles without his sister. And that day, you know, the boy was left alone. It used to be the three of them. So I don't think that other girl is her elder daughter. I think I always see two kids. And that day's caused so much heartbreak. And I think Spirit doesn't really want to get the message rolled out that she's unalive for the mother. That's what I'm getting. And that's why there's a stopping on that. But again, Spirit, when I saw the Ace of Swords here next to the 10, was like, that's your answer. You don't really need to trust on that answer. So I'm not going to say it, but that's what I'm getting. And that feels better for me. Now I've calmed down. I felt my energy like, because normally I just flow. Things just come. And I was like, even though I'm interpreting what I'm getting here, if you follow me for a while, you know that even if I've interpreted something, if I'm not fully channeled the message in me from Spirit, I won't move on. I will not be happy. I cannot just do a reading like that. I feel like there was something of a retaliation. I also feel the mother is frightened, but there's a bit of shame there to try and say. So I don't know if this other stuff that maybe she was involved in, maybe in the past, or that this person can come forward and attack on. This person is behind it all, even if at the forefront there was another person there. there was an argument prior to this happened. That's what I go back to, and I said it because I think there's also a bit of evidence on a message, a text message, that might trigger sort of, this looks like somebody else can be involved, directing it to the people. And there's somebody with a very heavy fire sign that is involved as well. Just look at this card, Ace of Pentacles. And these are people that are quite money focused. Remember how I said there could have been a retaliation? And so she's kind of like, you know, it could also be like, if you don't do what I say, you know, I'm going to something, and it's gone and it's been done. Let's just do this a minute. That doesn't look good, does it? White-skinned. I think this person, you know, had have spoken to her at school at some stage, and I think they will have cameras, and I'm surprised if they don't have cameras outside the school. I'm surprised, and if they've not checked the cameras on that day outside of school, I'm surprised, and a few days, because I think this person would have seen her. And just going back to what I didn't want to say is the biggest possibility in this read that I've been getting is this, right? So it could be kind of like abandoned. It could be an abandoned area, okay? I was getting some water. There are deception and lies. So this could be also when she was spoken to at school, there was some lies there. And there could be someone, and as I was going to say that, it could be someone who's at the forefront as a white-skinned, who actually did it, as opposed to, you know, who I think is probably at the background somewhere. Araya and Burnt. Yeah, so there's water nearby. There could be a bank, an oil rigs or oil mine nearby. There's schools in this area, or school is a landmark. I definitely think there was something around her upper body because of the throat chakra that I get. And Spirit is reminding me of the card I got at night. So maybe if this has happened, it eventually happened. That end of chapter was at night. Not on that day. I think she was kidnapping and shed. There's definitely in this park, and I said it from the beginning before the cards, there's definitely like a shed or a small building, and she was lured behind it and then she was taken. This one, and the torture card comes out again. It's not very good cards, especially when we see this, and we got fire here as well. And her upper body was affected. So we could think of airways. We can think of sort of the lungs, the throat, suffocation kind of stuff. I think this is unfortunate. I might do a separate read because I think this has gone on for a bit long. I just want to confirm one more time something with this deck. How many cards is this? I don't like, it's too many cards. So I'm asking a question, and Spirit is kind of like, why do you have to ask this question? Why are you not trusting what you've already said? And look at the cards that keep just spitting out more than what I want. I'm going to do it one last time. And this is what happens sometimes with Spirit. When I already psychically say something and I'm trying to confirm with the cards, just not going on what I know, I get like the mixed energies. So now the card has come out, and I was asking about the father again, okay, because I just wanted to make sure. I really would look in the direction of the father, okay? So the mother knows something, and the father is also involved in some kind of way, all right? I don't know if they live together again. I don't get that energy. I don't know if he's in the country, but I don't get that energy that they're together. I think 4 people know about this, so this includes the people that would have been there, taken her, anyone in the background, the mother as well, okay, that's grieving. 4 people have an inkling or know what happened. 2 of those are probably people that are already were part of this, if not more. The mother has an inkling, okay. So at least 4 people can really help crack this case. That's what I have for you on this little girl. Let's see if something comes to light. I think it's too late to, you know, obviously look in the park for any chewing gum or cigarette butts. She, you know, this is just continuing, so she definitely was lured, and I think she was approached, you know, sometimes at school. There's someone that was winning trust, okay, and like I said, cover up that one of the people, this is planned, all right, this is planned, this has been planned. It might have been a retaliation. This is absolutely planned. If I do a second read, I'll tap in again, but I will also look at some other questions where I want to dive a little bit deeper around certain elements. I don't want to say them right now because people will actually say, but I think, you know, I think in these cases, like, communication usually on the phone is actually checked, but if not, I think they just need to, I think it might be too late, but there's going to be some kind of significant I'm getting line, but basically I meant some significant thread to look into, okay. A very unfortunate case. So everyone take care, and I'll see you in the next one. I just quickly want to wrap that up. The mother has the key. The person knows where the house is, has been to the house. In the very least, if it hasn't been inside, has been to the house. If it's not the father that has the purpose of the child, even though he wasn't the person that actually took her from the park, this is a love interest that the father knows. They're affiliated by either like a gang they're in, or a ring, or just some kind of thing, okay. The mother knows who this is. The mother knows who it is and has an inkling who it is as well. So it's not like, oh yeah, I know Sandra from school, but I don't have an inkling it's her. Like, I wouldn't think it's her. I believe he'd stalk the house sometimes in the evenings. He's spoken to Dulce before. I don't know if he called her Maria before Dulce, like that keeps coming through. This guy is white skinned up until like Hispanic kind of colored skinned, and if he's Hispanic, he's not dark Hispanic. I feel like the black trousers with either yellow or light green or white on is significant. When I looked back at the video recording, Dulce was wearing, I think, black trousers with either polka dots or flowers on it or something like that. I've added the video in. What else did I want to say? This person also, I think, when he spoke to Dulce when the mother wasn't around, may have actually worn some kind of like, looked like. So when Dulce saw him in the park, it wasn't the first time she saw him or interacted with him. I don't believe that when he approached her, there was someone else there. If there was someone else with him, it would have been in the vehicle where Dulce didn't see it. It was kind of like, it wasn't like a partnered thing that there was two there at the site, down on the ground with Dulce. There's one very significant male, basically, I'm saying. I still very strongly get the father somehow involved, but it could be the energy of the, like I said, this kind of ring, society, cult, a gang I'm kind of getting. And I think one of them is more powerful than the other. And the mother does know, the mother has that secret, and I think she's under fear. And it's interesting. The school is very significant. There will be surveillance of the school that will show this person. I also get that this person was wearing the black trousers as well. So I also get that that's the possibility. I wonder if they've got a picture of someone out there, and if they have they drawn this upon a mix of the father, a mix of what the mother thinks who it could be, or is it based on maybe a witness at the park? And if that's the case, how credible is that? Because it's kind of a big park, but maybe there wasn't many people there. The mother has communication with this person as well, and they might be missing the signs on that too. But the school is very key up until this date, and unfortunately, although I think she was alive for a very long time after, not just a couple of days, I am not getting that's the case right now. Hey everyone, so I've pulled these cards. I'm going to tell you what I get, all right? So after Dulce was taken, she was not far, okay? She was held not far, but then there was something that went wrong, all right? Something went wrong, and that's when the time was, I believe, no longer with us, all right? I feel the person felt some kind of regret for the sort of hidden, you know, basically kidnapping her, and the lack of truth around that. But I do see she was held for quite some time, and there was a plan for this, like I've always said. There came a critical point in time where a decision had to be made, and that decision was around the ending, okay? I do still strongly get the father was involved. I'm doing this on the next day, which is the 19th, and it is currently 2 p.m. GMT UTC time. You'll either find that the video is split into two parts, which makes it a lot easier for me to process and upload, but I'm going to try to make them longer parts or after each other so that you can just continue for those of you that like the longer reads. She might have been given something as well for that to end. I do get a question here. I've pulled some clarifications. There is, like I said, there's 3 people in the background here. And in, I think the first reading I said there's 4 that at least know about it, including the perpetrator and the mother. I'm not sure if the mother had a download on the same day that, you know, it could be this person or that, or it came later, but I suspect had she within 9 days had said, possibly even 9 months, had said this, or this person or that person, I think this could have changed the dynamic, all right? There is something about, I do think there is something about money exchange, right, for her. This could be money exchange to get her into wherever her dad is, all right? The dynamics that cross over from this person and the dad, and that's why I tried to do those shorts, is because I really want to be clear as much as I can, because their energies interlink. I don't know how long the dad's been gone for. I don't know if he's with the mother or they're split. This person could have been someone that interacted with the mother, who had his attention on the mother, possibly on the child. But I think it was getting to know the child, because in the background, there was also the father. They both know each other from gang affiliation. I'm not sure if the father was aware that the mother was having, maybe this guy was interested in the mother or whatever, because he wasn't there, and maybe they've split. So can you see the interlinking dynamics? Yet this person they know each other, and so they're helping through maybe getting the child to Mexico, and for that there's some kind of money exchange, all right? I don't get that she's alive, unfortunately. I do think that there was a plan to get her to Mexico. Whether she's there at the moment, I am getting through the cards that she could potentially. So what I'm saying is they need to check in the States and Mexico. I've pulled these cards because after the reading I did, I went on to a crime, I think it might have been a court TV or something like that, and I saw like just 10-minute clip, and I think it said the father had been cleared, right? And I don't see anything about the father. I don't know what other psychic's saying, but I've pulled it again, and as soon as I heard her name, I felt that energy behind it. But he's not at the forefront of this. He's not the person who took her. But those two energies interlink. They do need to search within the States, and they do need to search within in New Mexico. There was something else I wanted to say. I hate it when I don't write it down because I forget it. She was very close to where she was taken. She was very close to the house. She was in the community. This person knows the community. This person, I think, knows the mother, knows the father. And like I said, the father wasn't around when this guy had some kind of interest in her, in the mother. And also then there was kind of this interest to get closer and closer because of possibly this plan in the background. However, while they were holding on to her, or he was holding on to her, there came a time of critical decision. So this is where it gets a bit muddled, like, where is her remains at this moment in time? Okay, and the energies are getting mixed because at the time of this, whether the father's back or not, and I'd be interested if the father was kind of deported and for what reasons, because there is an affiliation here. So I just wanted to clarify that. This is really sad because, like I said, I think the mother knows, and there's fear there, and I've explained why there might be fear. There might be shame. The shame might be that she was getting to know this person, she wasn't interested in this person. Maybe she can't say that because of the father. I don't really know. There's something here, and maybe she has kind of shame because of the way the whole story has panned out. You know, maybe she's been also under attack, but there is fear. There is shame. I do strongly keep getting sort of a group, like I do think it's a gang affiliation. I don't say that they go out and do crimes, not saying that. But I do think, like I said, within 9 days and possibly up to 9 months, it could have led. I do think there's communication, a text or something on the mother's phone that wouldn't have necessarily pointed in that direction, but could have been a text that could have broke this through. The school is very, 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 very significant, extremely significant in this case. So it's going to be interesting because I just feel the police don't know where to start on this. I don't feel they have anything. I mentioned in the park that the perpetrator left something behind. What's interesting, if the father is behind this, and I don't know why I'm getting drugs as well. So I don't know if the father was on drugs or something. But, you know, this perpetrator is white to Hispanic, which tells me he's, if he is Hispanic, he's the lighter skinned. He's not a darker skinned Hispanic. I was going to say something. And oh, yes. I don't quite understand if the father, why then the small boy was left. So was there a plan to take the small boy as well, or is the small boy, the father didn't really have a bonding with the boy, or the boy is not actually the father's? Okay, so there's something there as well. So this is what I have for you. Let's see how I process the video. I need to stop saying bye because I'm so frightened people just click off and then I've got something else to say. And with these things, I continuously get downloads. So if you've been watching the Rex Huerman, I'm getting downloads. Like there's one person, there's one body that's in question. There's one body that's in question, whether it's him or not him. And I don't know if that's true, but that's a download I've got. Another download is to do with maybe where he snapped, things around that. And so I'm thinking to do another read on that. And remember, I mentioned June's energy is going to really vamp up, where May was a bit more placid and bringing into justice. June is vamping up, and we can see that with cases that are rehatching or new cases coming in. Like when I open my YouTube now, I don't know, I keep getting new things that are coming in all the time, new like thumbnails. I'm like, who's that name? I've not seen this name. So there's continuous things happening. And if you think about it, I know some people will say, what I was getting is that this was stalled quite a lot in the beginning. There was immense love and search for Dulce. I think the law enforcement delayed kind of an Amber Alert, which really was helpful to this person getting away. Okay. I want to say red is significant, but I don't know if that's my mind coming into place, because, you know, Spirit said, look at the red, but I know that there was something red, a red van that I read could have been involved or something, or a red van was spotted. So I don't want to say that that is my own prediction on that, because I can't really differentiate now. I know about that. So the other thing is there'll be a reading definitely on, there's a few more readings coming up on different things, and also a case that I've covered extensively, but I'm just waiting for an announcement of some remains, if they're found, that have been found, whether they're linked, because I have a guess on that. And so yeah, I hope we get some sort of breakthrough or justice. I haven't pulled cards on law enforcement, but I don't think they have anything really tangible. But that's been missed, and that's been missed, and things could have been said, but they do need to look at this closely. And this person could have fled the area by now. That's also what I'm getting. Okay, so everyone, take care, and I'll see you in our next one. Have a lovely morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are and whenever. Hi everyone. So, I hate repeating readings. I thought I pressed record, but I never. Spirit has brought me back here because I don't know why. I was thinking, is what everyone's saying about this person the truth? and is what he is, like what he is, the type of person he is, beyond what he's done, known. Now I'm going to try and remember everything that I said, and Spirit seems to be bringing me back, but I know that I mentioned obviously in the last reading we got anxiety. I think he's quite OCD as well. He is a loner. He doesn't necessarily like confrontation and arguments, but he also feels a bit of a victim, and he also feels quite restrained in life. He might have had a run-in with the law. I don't think that it's pressed heavy convictions, but he's maybe had something to do with it. It might be DRUG. We mentioned in the readings about a retaliation, where I can see that here he's also very guarded, but when it comes to, I think, being rejected or matters of the heart, he acts quite impulsively. He could be someone that's not, you know, has a bit of a financial pinch. He is a bit of a loner. I kept getting that, and I keep getting that. In this case, obviously, I've already mentioned that he was holding on to something that wasn't for him, which was the child, and there was trying to be movement there, and he was trying to get to an outcome of probably the outcome that was needed, a peaceful outcome, but he was holding on to someone else's child. If there was a thing to transport her to the father, that went a bit wrong at some stage. And secrets around that whole movement here and holding on to her is not, there's not sufficient information. If law enforcement currently think they've got their hands in the right direction, there's a lot more that they're not seeing. Like mentioned, I think this person is part of a gang or something. I do not think, before anyone runs with the money idea, that the mother or that the mother got the daughter trafficked for like a few hours and it went wrong, or that she was trafficked into a ring. But I do get strongly that they are part of the father and this man, and the mother knows, because obviously she was with the father. I don't know if she still is. They are part of like a ring. I'm getting gang, okay, affiliation. And I think this person wasn't as powerful, all right? And maybe this was something that he agreed to do, especially if he wanted to try and get with the mother and then she kind of rejected it or something like that. She had a crush or an interest in the mother, and she really didn't entertain it. I think she kind of lightly entertained it. And then this comes up, right? And so he goes for it. But like I said, there's some kind of retaliation. He is a bit of a recluse. I think that's all I was getting, because I was just thinking, what type of person is this? And Spirit was like, look at the cards to see if you're right. I do think he is very OCD, and I'm getting this in this reading. And I think if anything else comes through, because Spirit keeps bringing me back here, I am going to probably do a proper part 2. I have repeated some stuff because I just want to make sure it's clear. I don't want anyone to run with the idea that the mother has trafficked her daughter or anything like that. It's very clear as day that this person kidnapped the daughter. Yeah, and he's part of this this gang. I really think that the father or the person is really powerful, not this one, but whoever they were in talks in. There could be also religious involvement here, but I'm going to stick with what I've got. But yeah, I don't want it to be like where I said about the money, for it to be, oh, she's been trafficked, or that to be taken out of context in terms of pointing fingers to someone. I don't think I've channeled everything that I said in the first part, but I think I've summarized it in a way. There is still hidden factors, okay, that especially caused the tower in this, and I think it's while he held her and was moving around with her, whether it was to get to where they needed to go, check the previous parts, but he was holding on to something that is not his as well. and the objection, I think, was to get it to the father, but that, I believe, something went very wrong during that period. But like I said, I do think that they need to check in the States and in Mexico, depending where the father is as well. So this is just added on, and I hope you have enjoyed this read. Let's hope some more comes out on Dulce. I'm not getting the best feeling unless there's information out there, because I don't feel like he's he's living in the community like he was prior. I feel like he's moved a bit, so it makes it more difficult. Yeah, so everyone, I hope you enjoyed this. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.